Hello YouTube and welcome back to episode 22 of our Let's Play Zoo Tycoon 2 here in freeform mode, where we're going back to work on our wonderful African exhibit. We're not going back into the predator house or whatever we're calling it today. We're actually going to work on this large exhibit out here. Why do we want to work on this exhibit out here? Well, because I had a couple of people request a certain animal that's rather large, and I figured I should use that last big space to fill it in. What is that animal, you might say? Well, if it ever loads up here, it is the African bush elephant. That's right, we're going to be using the Radical Remake African elephant, which they call a bush elephant, because the African elephant looks fantastic. I actually think it's one of the best models that comes in the Radical Remake. Just look at the details on that skin. It looks fantastic, so I'm really happy to do that. I'm a little concerned size-wise. So we're not going to obviously have a big elephant herd. We're probably just going to have two, maybe. And it's going to get a little more cramped because I actually want to build a wonderful little viewing area for our guest in here, too. And so that's going to take up a little bit of space. But definitely going to put in our African bush elephants today, which actually, given the fact we're doing this in the corner, yeah, an African elephant is a 4 stars animal. Like I've said many times before, we are playing in sandbox mode here, so we have access to all of our animals and everything, but for those of you who are playing a challenge mode, you'll recognize the star rating up here. The star rating in challenge mode determines which animals you have access to. You can't put an animal in over your star. But what you might not know is that other animal star rating also usually determines guest interest in that animal. So it's a good idea if you're playing in your zoo to leave the 1 and 2 star animals up front or in the middle, and kind of in the corners put your 5 star animals, because that encourages guests to walk all the way around the zoo. But we're not doing that here. It's just kind of a fortuitous thing that we've got that type of animal going into our corner here. So let's go ahead and get started. And this will give me a cool opportunity to show you how to make a fairly basic but fairly good viewing area for an animal. So I got a design in mind that I think is going to work really well. Right now, what I'm just going to do is kind of switch the walls in the back to kind of be higher. Get them safari walls. They're more in theme with the area in case you can see it from the viewing area. Just kind of get this fleshed out here. And even though I'm going to delete this wall in a second, and then I'm probably going to put in a private wall here. We'll just get our new dimensions map there real quick. Alright, and this is going to be a little more difficult because I'm going to be doing this on an angle. And sometimes the mechanics in Zoo Tycoon 2 get a little wonky if you approach it on an angle. But that's what we're going to do here. We're not going to make the viewing area too big because I don't want it to take up too much room. We just need to get ourselves... I think I'm going to put in the elevated path first just so we can kind of know what my dimensions can be. And, yeah, let's go with kind of this thatched looking thing. I think that's going to look pretty good. I know I've used it somewhere else in the zoo, and I can't remember where, and that kind of bugs me. Alright, so it's going to be at least 2 high, like that. Very good. Okay. And that just kind of gives me an idea of what we're going to have to work with. Alright. And then we're going to go to our tank walls here. And we're just going to take the acrylic tank wall. Oh, no, not a ring. I just need it straight through. Going to run it straight across here, like so. And we'll take this down. There. Okay. Very cool, very cool. tweak these walls a little bit here to get this to work the exact way I want it. And I even put in too much acrylic right there, actually. I don't want you, and I don't want you. Okay. This should work at a 2 high. Yes. I don't think that went in right. Nope, it did not. Just wanted it there. And then I'll also want it on the inside here. Okay, and 2 high. For those of you who don't know, 2 high is the minimum for guests and also your zookeepers to fit into anything. It needs to be at least 2 high. So this under area, this lower part of the viewing, I'm going to make at least 2 high because of that reason. And let me grab the 2 to 1 and just kind of fill in these slots here. And I think I picked the type of wood that doesn't have the 1 to 0. So, it's not going to be perfect. Oh well. I'm not changing now. We must move ahead. No, moving back. There's another dark wood. I think we can cheat that in. Yeah, that looks fine. Good. It's not so far off. I feel I'm compelled to go back in there and, you know, redo the entire thing. Oh, but I did miss that right there. And where was that dark wood again? I think it was closer to the end. Yes, it was. Okay. Fantastic. Alrighty. And now we need to get our safari walls to actually become flush with our viewing area so the elephants won't be able to walk out. And we'll just bring it in like that. I think it's going to work the best. And I think there's still going to be plenty of room for the elephants. They're going to have like a little private area where we'll put their shelter, and then we'll make their feeding grounds around here, and that way they have an impulse to walk back and forth from their shelter to their food, and it'll be interesting for our guest. Very cool. And let's go ahead and I think I'll just go ahead and just finish up our guest area first, actually. So let's put in the pathways while I can still see before I put the roof on top. I think we're going to put down this dirt path here on the inside, just to make it a little more distinguished, a little more fun for our guest. And we'll leave that empty so we can put in some kind of statue or something neat right there. And I've just realized I'm going to make a change here to our walls. Yes. Yeah, okay. What I'm going to do is instead of having these things descending downwards, I'm going to extend it out. And that way we can use it as sort of a holdover for our roof here. Because when we fill in this upper area, we're not just going to fill in that one row, we're actually going to extend it all the way back here. Oh, I had it perfect. There we go. And drop. Wonderful, wonderful. And let's go ahead and get some walls up on this side. I think I'm going to use the safari walls, like going this way. And now let's go ahead and put in some glass panels on our pathway here. I'm really glad I'm doing this. I feel like the last couple of exhibits I kind of... Well, it's because we've been doing the house. So, I haven't been doing anything too interesting with the, guest area. So I'm glad to be doing a little guest area thing here. It's something I really enjoy doing in this game. So, I'm glad to get back to it. So thank you, everyone who suggested elephants and put this idea in my head. Let me see, what's the best kind of glass to put there? I think we're just going to do, the 3 high. Maybe do 2 high, that looks too big. Alright. That's good. And now let's grab some decorations for our glass. I'm almost positive I still have these things. Once again, this is something I probably should have checked beforehand, or at least checked after the big crash where I lost everything. I don't see what I'm looking for, actually. Maybe it's one of those weird things that are actually inside the Buildings tab for some reason. That happens sometimes with things which should clearly be scenery, but end up in the Buildings tab. I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to give one more check through the scenery tab, and if it's not in there, we'll move on to do something else, because I know not the most exciting thing to watch me scroll through inventory. I mean, it's the reason I watch videos on YouTube is to watch other people scroll through inventory, but you don't have to. These are not exactly what I'm looking for, but those might work. It looks like I don't have the nifty little coverings. Well, while I'm here, I can grab the staircases. That way we don't have to look for those later. Why you no work? Oh, it's angled. Alright, we'll just leave it as a ramp. Yeah, for some reason there are little things that tweak out wrong in this game when you try to put them in an angle instead of, at a 90 degrees from the gate entrance. I don't know why they did it that way. But oh well. We will survive. We will move on. Yeah, I just have the Jurassic Park ones. I used to have these really cool, window covering things. So they're probably still out there somewhere in the ether. Oh, do I have, any elephant statues? Columbian mammoth. Looks like I only have for extinct pachyderms. Although I've got quite a few of those. And I thought I had an elephant topiary, but maybe I was wrong. Again, all things I could have looked up before we started. Alright. Okay, I'm not going to make you suffer anymore. We're just going to go ahead and let's put a roof on top of our stairway. Yeah, okay. And I think I'll go with a brick roof. I think, yes. So we need to raise it up so it's at the same level as the top. Is that good or is that one too high? One too high. Beautiful. Filling in, filling in. Fill, fill, fill. We love to fill, 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 fill. Bulldoze, bulldoze, bulldoze. We love to bulldoze. I think I might have destroyed something important there. Nope, gonna have to do that one. No, I haven't even named the zoo yet. Well, there's something you can do, YouTube. Anybody got any ideas for names for the zoo? I'm now accepting applications. And I think that actually leaves a little gap there, which is fine. I actually did see that one coming. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a little floating glass there, I think. Yes, that's what we're going to do. We'll create a little floating glass. Alright, so... Oh, you know what we can do, actually? Is since this gives the impression of, like wooden spikes going up through there, we can kind of continue that motif by just grabbing some poles. That one's a little off. Okay. And let's just turn down the opacity a little bit, because I need to put in the railings for the upper half here. Otherwise, people could just walk off that path and, fall down and sue us. So, don't want that to happen. I'm always worried about the lawsuits, as you know. There we go. And then we'll put something over those fences there. I'm thinking, I say, No, those are more beams. No. I was thinking, okay. I'm doing a lot of thinking this episode. I'm sorry for falling silent so much. But, if you make it up as you go, that's what's going to happen. So, mea culpa. I do apologize. Might be better to do that in a wood, because I'm using wood for the back there. But I can't find my wood right now, so if I do find it, I'll change it. If not, I'm not going to hold you up anymore. But let's go ahead and unpause, switch into guest mode, so we can take a look at that. Make sure that we did everything the way we wanted to, and then we'll get about making the area nice for the elephants too. So, okay. There is our Ratels there. And if I had planned this out better, I probably would have moved it off the path. The reason I'm have it like in such tight quarters here is simply because I did not think I would be putting elephants in there, so I didn't really leave room. And I would rather have that squished against the path than take out my elephants area. So here's our inside, and we can probably put a little bench in there or something. But that's looking pretty good. You can get right up close. You're going to be able to see the elephants right there. And if we back off here, we know that on either side we can take our walkway up, and you're going to have this elevated view of the elephants. And once again, we can put in like some benches in the back or something like interesting so guests can rest. But that's just a good tutorial-ish, I guess, kind of a tutorial on how to do a fairly cool little guest area exhibit. And now it's time to make the place nice for our African bush elephants. So let's start by changing the environment to the savanna that they live in. Just paint over all this real quick. Paint, 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 paint. We like to paint. And get rid of these guys. And so first thing we're going to do is put in that elephant house, which I believe will fit quite nicely back here. Yes, indeed. So I'll put this in the area where you guests can't really get to it, so the elephants can actually be at peace inside their house. And then, like I mentioned before, what we're going to do is put the food over on this side, so that way the artificial intelligence for the elephants will prompt them to keep walking back and forth in front of our guest. It's a good little trick to learn if you're going to be a zoo tycooner. Let me drop a trough down here, and I'll put another one here. In fact, let's not do a trough there. Instead, let's put in a watering hole. Give them the option if they want to drink from a hole or drink from a trough. Something like that. Maybe a little thinner, just so they can walk through without getting their toes wet if they want to. I think that's going to be okay for the elephants. Elephant... It always feels like you should put the peanut feeders on the other side. I'm just going to avoid them. So definitely we want to do a painting area. It's one of the cooler tricks that the AIs can do, is that the elephants do paint things for you. So let's put it right there so the guests can see that one very easily. We're also going to drop a couple elephant logs, because they do love their logs. Just pick them up and swing them around in their trunks. I think that's going to be good. I don't want to crowd it too much. Of course, we need to put in our trees and rocks and stuff. Let's go ahead and put down a biggish rock here, and then kind of build the plants around it. Definitely want to put it in a termite mound just for looks. But I think we can take some savanna grass, and we'll start with the high savanna grass towards the back, I think. Right? Uganda grass. Uganda grass. Tall savanna. There we go. And then its more normal-sized cousin. I don't know how grassed up I want to make this, but let's make it look fairly lush. I'm sure grassed up is an actual word. Treeses. I do love those Akai trees really well. Maybe I should put in an umbrella one, though. Don't want it to be too obstructing to the view. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking something like that. Let's go ahead and mock with the terrain just a little bit, just to get it looking kind of more natural. Kind of give him a little place where he can paint from, a little stand there. Okay. That's looking pretty nice. Looking kind of wonderful, actually. Let's go ahead and grab more grass for this back area here. Guests aren't going to be able to see it, it's just for me. And then to make it look uber realistic, let's go ahead and change our palette here so that the path that we're planning on having those elephants walk down is dirt instead of grass. Because obviously if an elephant is walking back and forth on it a whole bunch, it's going to very quickly get dirted up, or the grass is going to get trampled. Make it look more like that. So it's a little bit more of a realistic looking display. Very, very cool. Let's go ahead and put a gate in for our zookeeper. I'm thinking right here, a little bit off the actual path, where you can't see it from our viewing area. And so let's put in some elephants into our elephant display. Okay. And like I said, it's we're a little cramped in here, so I'm just going to keep it to one male and one female. And I think they'll be plenty happy. Once it loads up the bull elephant, there it is. Nice bull elephant with its beautiful tusks. And put a zookeeper in charge of these guys. This is your assignment, sir. Sirs. Sir, however you pronounce it. And let's go ahead and unpause and take a peek at our beautiful new elephant display. Zoom in here so I don't accidentally drop myself into a path, or into a pen, I mean. Into a paddock, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I did it anyway. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so walking down the path, walking down, and we know we've got our Rattels here, who are still doing wonderful. They still don't seem to care about many things, as a matter of fact. And now we have our elephant display, which, if we go to the bottom half, well, we can see one moving off in the distance there. I'm probably going to flatten out that hill here because it does block the view of the bottom. So many warning messages. I really need to take some time off camera to just go through and tidy everything up. And I do like how that tree leans in through that open area. But we can go to our upstairs viewing. Ah, there it is. Look at the majestic bull elephant. Oh, and there's a female one. Hey! Hey! Oh, you look so good. I really love the Radical Remake elephants. I think they are totally worth it. Even if you don't get anything else for the Radical Remakes, just go there and get the elephant skins, because it's awesome. Alright, I'm not going to take the hill away completely, but let's lessen it a little bit so you have a better view. Alright. And I actually think that's where I'm going to end it right now. Thank you so much for watching. Whoops, I didn't even mean to bring that up. Alright, well, it's been about half an hour. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, if you have any other ideas for what you'd like to put on display, if you have any comments for how I can improve the elephant paddock here, please let me know below. Thank you so much for watching and spending your time with me, and I will see you next episode. Goodbye.